Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today I figured I would talk about something that I get asked semi-frequently and I know is something people think about a lot, and that is crowns versus membership. Which one's better? Which one is truly the better option to go for? I know I've talked about this in the past. I made a video very similar a few months ago, but I figured I would make it again, make it a little bit better, make it a little bit more structured, all that. So what I want to talk about and illustrate is the differences between the two methods, what you're getting out of both, the cost of both, and which one's truly better. So, like always, let's get right into it. I made a spreadsheet for the people who said, like, no, you're not using spreadsheets right. Yeah, I know I'm not using spreadsheets right. I don't care. I'm just using it to show some data. I don't care if it looks bad. So right here you can see I have made a spreadsheet on exactly the crown purchases versus the membership. I illustrated all the data. I gathered it all from the Wizard101 website. So these are the official numbers on everything, and then kind of gathered it here. So what you can see is on the far left, that is the world, specifically the area. I know that some people may be like, oh, that's not a world. Well, certain areas in this game actually cost individual crowns, like for example, Buckingham Palace, Kimbalung. I tried to put it in order of actually when you get to it, so at what level you would be doing this. I put the cost of crowns next to it with the total at the bottom. I put buying the world individually and buying the world total. So you can see here the data is laid out in a pretty clear way. Obviously, some of these are not necessary. So for example, Kimbalung Village, Buckingham Palace, Atlantia, all of those probably aren't going to be necessary for you in any way. Like, you don't actually need to use any of those gear for a extended period of time. So realistically, you can ignore those and take off a solid little bit. But let's get into the actual data. So you can see here, adding up all the costs in crowns of every total area, it is 210,040 crowns. That is a lot of crowns, more than I've ever seen in my entire life. So if you want to buy all of the areas all at once, it costs that much. To buy the world individually, how I did this was I looked at the crowns and then I looked at what the nearest purchase was. So obviously for Wizard City being $37.50, the closest is $10. For Marleybone at $1,200, the closest is $25. And you can see for some of them like Grizzleheim and Winter Tusk at $99.75, I made it so it was $20 because that's probably the most logical choice, is to buy the $10 option twice instead of actually buying the full $25. Obviously that's up to you and up to if you actually bought it this way, but that seemed like the best thing to do. Interestingly enough, Lemuria is actually the first world that goes over the $25 mark, going up to 30, and the reason for that is it's actually 20 crowns more than the $25 purchase, which is just tantalizingly annoying if you were to buy the area. So you need to go up to that $30 mark, buy 25 and a $5 purchase. So putting that all together, adding up all of those, it is $475 to purchase every single area individually. Now I will say that obviously isn't exactly how you might do it. This is if you bought it every single time you got to an area, you bought crowns. That's not necessarily how you'd expect to do it. So there is another column, which is the buy world total. What this is this is how much money it would cost to buy 210,040 crowns, which is $280. So much less steep than the $475 of buying it individually. The way that you would do that would be with $200 purchases and then with an $80 purchase. That would give you two 80,000s and then one 60,000. So you'd have a little bit left over, but that's the gist of it. So that is the kind of cost section of crowns. Now, obviously, these are some big numbers and very hard to comprehend. So let's compact the data a little bit more at the bottom. So for $475, you could buy all of the worlds individually, or, and this is the actual versus membership section of the video, you could purchase 6 years of a yearly membership. So this is to illustrate how long before the crowns cost actually becomes cost effective. So to get your money's worth in the crowns, it would take 6 years of a yearly membership. In terms of a monthly membership, you would make it up in 4 years. So obviously a monthly membership is a little bit less cost effective because it is more for a monthly amount than a yearly, but I still would like to say it's obvious here that there is a key victor in this situation. Unless you are planning on playing this game for the next decade, it is much better to get a membership. And I'm going to go further into that later. There's more reasons to get a membership, but let's look at the buy world total. So if you chose to actually just buy $280 worth of crowns to get up to that 210,000 amount, it would take 4 years of yearly membership to reach that amount, or 2 1/3 years monthly membership. So this would be 2 years, 4 months. Again, I still think that membership is very much the better option here, because 2 years is a lot of years. I could probably max out a wizard on a new account in like maybe a week if I put my mind to it, probably a few days if I really grinded. But obviously not everyone's going to be like that. That's just me. But I definitely think within a week most people could probably max out a wizard. Definitely within a month a lot of people could max out a wizard, and if you're really slow, definitely within 2 months. So you could pay $280 or pay $20. Really, that's up to you. But for the final section of this video, and what I really want to highlight, is the fact that it's not simply crowns versus membership as in cost. There's another added layer to that, and that is the fact that membership gives you more benefits than just unlocking worlds. So things that a membership gives that you wouldn't have if you bought all the worlds for crowns: you get a larger backpack, it's 150 items versus 80, a larger friends list, 150 versus 80 I believe as well, could be wrong there, faster energy regen, faster crafting timer, faster pet hatching timer, membership benefits, so obviously free crafting, double reagents, double pet XP, all of those, 50% off the scroll of fortune. Personally, I don't really care about this, but I'm just listing everything you get. Unique emotes, I don't know exactly which ones, but again, you can get them. Ranked PvP / pet derby, and finally access to message boards, which if you don't know is just kind of where you have like a giant message board for the devs to possibly respond to on the website. All of those things you get from a membership. So ultimately, let's look at it overall. Membership versus crowns. I think there is a very, very clear winner here if you can't actually see it. Membership is 100% better. The only reason why a membership would be less beneficial in terms of just worlds, just looking at getting the worlds unlocked, is if you were playing this game for years. Obviously, if I had chosen to buy this when I was like, say 10, yeah, then it would have been more cost beneficial. But guess what? When I was 10, I didn't have $280. I think it really is important to stress it is just not worth it. And then you tag on the fact that members get benefits like the larger backpack and whatnot. Absolutely, a membership is more beneficial. Even if you're doing a monthly membership, it is way more beneficial for a monthly membership. And I can't stress enough, if you're just starting out this game now and looking at, you know, I just want to play this for a short period of time and I just want to know what the better way to go, please get a membership, because you could probably finish this game in 2 months, even if it took you 6 months to finish this game, right? That's $60, which is cheaper than the average modern release of a game. So 6 months of content for that cheaper than average release, really you would have to be pretty dumb to not see how that could be beneficial. I think really crown area purchases are limited purely to actual areas that you might farm when you don't have a membership. So say like next month I decided, yeah, I don't want to buy a membership this month, I want to save a little bit of money. Maybe I buy the crown area of like something in the catacombs just so I can do detritus runs while I don't have that membership. Or, you know, I buy the Athenium and Dragonspire so that I can actually farm for Lore Master. Really, stuff like that is the reason why you would do these crown area purchases. I don't recommend it in any other facet besides that. Membership is vastly superior. But that's really all I wanted to go over today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I taught you something. Even if you already had decided, you know, members obviously better, hopefully I taught you just how much better membership is than crowns. Please do not pay $400 or $200 even to buy all the areas for crowns. It's just not worth it. But that's it for today. Again, let me know in the comments what you think about this. I think it's pretty funny, and I'm excited to know what you think as well. But thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next video. Adios.